Welcome to your Move in May series. Today's class is a stretch class, so just grab your mat and yourself, and we'll get started. To begin, you're going to sit back on your feet and then come forward with the hands. So you're going to turn your fingertips toward your knees so that the palms are on the floor. And then just begin to shift your weight back as far as you can to stretch now through the wrists and through the forearms. Just sit back as to where is comfortable. We'll back off of this for a second, so just come forward. And then once again, exhale, just sit back, stretch, keeping the palms down onto the mat. Then go ahead and start to peel the palm off the mat. So you're just rolling through the fingers, a little extra stretch now through the fingers and hands. And then as you come back, we're just going to take the fingers, interlace them together, and then just roll the wrists around. So you're dropping one, rolling the other. Give yourself a little bit more movement in the wrist there. Circles around. And then we're going to find a downward facing dog. So spread your fingers wide and then tuck your toes under and send your hips up to the sky. So you're going to lift your hips up as you press into the hands, into the shoulders. Keep lengthening, elongating the spine, press the hips upward, and then just breathe here. So let's see if we can bring in some nice deep breaths into the ribs. So shrug your shoulders a bit. So you're going to just kind of push into the mat, shrug your shoulders up, and then exhale and relax the shoulders down. So you're kind of dropping the shoulders away from your ears. Do that just a couple times so you notice the difference between tension into the shoulders and neck and where you can actually let them relax. All right, just holding for one more breath. And then go ahead and drop your knees down. You're going to sit back again to your feet. And then we'll take the hands and give them another roll through the wrist, through the fingers. Just a little bit of release there. Then from that seated position, you'll take the arms, reach them out to the side. The big inhale, sweep the arms straight up to the ceiling. And then we'll come down and tee the arms out and then cross your left arm on top of your right. And so you're gonna wind the arms around as best as you can, maybe even reaching the hands toward one another or grabbing hold of anything that you can there. So the arms are wrapped. And then we're gonna take a lift of the elbows. So open up through the shoulders, broaden the upper back, and then lean backward as you breathe. All right, then exhale. Bring the elbows down, unwind the arms, we'll sweep them back up again. Big stretch up to the sky, and then we'll swap, dropping down again now. Bring your opposite arm on top, so it should be right on top of left. Winding around again, and then lift the elbows up high. Keep on lifting, find that bit of a back bend now. Lean backward and open up through the front side body as you breathe. And then exhale, release the elbows down, unwind the arms once again, and then stretch the fingertips back up. We'll interlace the fingers just to reach and find length through the spine, through the shoulders. And then come back forward. We'll come off of the feet. So starting on all fours, you're going to take a step up and out with your right foot up outside your right hand. And then bring the hips forward so you start to stretch into the front of your back hip. So press the hips forward. Start to release, settling the hips downward. But then we're going to push into the hands and lift the chest upward. So you want a nice long spine here as you're pressing the hips forward. So again, breathe, release into the stretch. As you exhale, you're going to lengthen the front leg. So start to lengthen and straighten as you send your hips back, and then take your toes and bring them up toward the sky, up toward the ceiling. So you can position yourself enough that you feel nice long length in the front. Fingertips to the mat again, flex the toes back towards you, and then let's lift the chest upward. So find length through the chest. If you don't quite reach, you can just try to lift and lengthen the chest without your hands down or holding on to maybe a block or something near you. All right, then we'll come forward. Bring your hands back down to the mat, stepping your right foot back, and then we'll switch. So left foot forward. To begin, we're going to just shift the weight forward, so releasing the hips, especially the back hip coming forward. And now press into the hands, lengthen the spine. So hips press, and then chest lifts and presses. Once again, we'll lengthen the front leg now. Straighten the front leg, flexing the toes, and then fingertips on either side of your straight leg. So lift and lengthen through the chest, flexing the toes back towards you, and then breathe. And then one more time, we'll come forward, release the hands down, and then step back once again. So now just come forward. You're gonna lay your belly down onto the mat, and then bring your hands just underneath the shoulders. So start to just press into the hands so you lift the chest off the ground and just kind of roll the shoulders back and open. So we're just trying to lift through the spine. Now release the glutes, release your bum. Just try to feel that lift up through the spine, not holding on into the back side. Then we'll exhale, release, and just bring your elbows now in place of where your hands were, so the forearms are to the mat. So we're gonna push once again. Think pushing your hands and forearms down into the floor. Now really push so that the shoulders come away from the ears, and you can drop the belly down and pull the heart forward. Now just rest here, take deep breaths, and feel where you might feel a little bit of restriction or compression in the low back, and take your breath and send it all the way down to the low back. Okay, then we'll exhale, release down. Extend your right arm directly out to your side with your palm touching the floor. Then we're gonna roll onto that arm as you shift and lift your left leg. So the left leg will come up and over. Drop your right ear to the floor and feel this big stretch through the front side of your shoulder. Breathe here and just kind of open up the hips in this position here. Excellent. We'll rotate back now to our belly, slide the right arm in, and then reverse that. So left arm will come out, roll toward your left, right leg comes up and over, planting the foot down on the ground behind you, and then left ear down to the mat. Excellent. Then we'll roll back one more time. Just press through your hands so that you come back sitting hips to heels. And then we're going to keep on walking back. So hips to heels, keep on walking back. You can widen the feet out so that your bum kind of sits in between your feet. And then you're just going to walk your hands back just to where it is comfortable or just enough manageable to stretch through the quads here. So you keep walking the hands back and then maybe even release a forearm or two down. Just finding a release here. And then we are going to add into the neck. So try to pull your head back over through the shoulders and then allow it to drop down and pull back and open. All right, then we'll pull the head back through. And then if you're on your forearms, just go ahead and prop up one hand, then the next. We'll come back forward. And then if you just cross at your ankles and then sit all the way back down, just take through the arms and give it one more stretch. So just stretch the arms all the way out and open. Interlace the fingers again, reach up to the sky, back bend. Take a breath in here. And then exhale to release down. And that's all you have to do for your stretch today. See you tomorrow.